Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of Ramadan Recipes with Ashuurah Mutale. Remember, I told you for the last 10 days in Ramadan, I'm not going to be live. Remember, we have to maximize our deeds and our efforts. This is a month of harvest, and so we should do all our best, double the effort to scoop ourselves the best of rewards, the great of rewards, the ripest fruits ever. This is a month for harvest. We were still talking about the mistakes that we usually do in Ramadan, things that we take for granted, things that we don't think really harm us or harm our fasting or our month or our rewards, yet they do reduce our rewards so greatly. Today we are winding up on these mistakes that we usually do. What do we have? We ended on point number 17, and today we have point number 18, and this says praying only on the night of 27th. This is in seeking for the day of, or the night of Laylatul Qadr. This is praying only on the night of 27th. Remember, we can't guarantee, we were not given a specific date or a specific night for Laylatul Qadr. This is the night of power, and if you only choose to pray only on 27th, that is a mistake. Okay, remember our beloved prophet encouraged us or told us to pray out to recognize or to wait for the day of, or for the night of Laylatul Qadr within the last 10 days, but those are the odd days. Okay, the odd days, that is the 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th. I mean, it could be even who knows? I mean, but we can't only take on the 27th day. Who knows? It could even happen on the very beginning of it. This is 21st. Okay, so that is a very big mistake, and some people only take this night to be their only night that they can pray, and missing out all the other nights in Ramadan, yet they're all significant, they're all important nights. I mean, so let's try to avoid this. Okay, stop, or let's not take on only 27 to be the only night that we have to wake up and pray to Allah. Please, we should relatively wake up on all the nights in Ramadan, because they're all very important, and they're all so significant, and they're all so rewarding when you pray them. Okay, that is a mistake, and so let's not do that. If you've been doing that for the last Ramadan and you didn't know that that was a mistake, or it wasn't, or it's not something good, please stop it. Do yourself a favor and get back on track. Let's see another point, and this is number 19. This is cooking too much food, getting it wasted and dumped. When we get in Ramadan, whether you like it or not, whether you're going to agree with me or disagree with me, our minds, we tend to revert our minds to the cooking. This looks like a season. In one way or another, people are just thinking about food, the cooking, the how to do this. It's like a feasting season, it's like a feasting month. And so people get extravagant. People get cooking lots of food and having this food wasted. I mean, it's not that they might not like wasting it, but it's like they tend to, or we tend to cook enough. Like, we get extravagant, and this is not good. Remember, extravagancy in Islam is out of the line. It's not even acceptable, but it's discouraged, greatly discouraged. You don't have to be extravagant, because there's so many people out there who go without food, who go without iftar, who go without suhoor, and you're busy here cooking as though cooking is all that you've got to do. Please, my beloved ones, I'm talking to you, my beloved sisters, please, let's try to avoid being extravagant. Let's try to avoid cooking lots of food and having it wasted and then dumped. That's also another mistake. Meanwhile, as you're fasting, trying to scoop yourself rewards and then you're getting wasted, then what are you doing? That is like cooking. It's like washing and then having to dump your clothes in the mud. Okay? Wasted energy. So let's do the right things in the right time while we still can. Okay, let's look at another point, and this is wasting the last part of Ramadan preparing for Eid. SubhanAllah. People do waste these last 10 days preparing for Eid. People go hit the shopping malls. People are looking out for the places where to go and celebrate the Eid day. People are looking out for, people are making budgets, what they're going to, cook and prepare for Eid day. SubhanAllah, this is not the way to go. In fact, we see that for these last 10 days, we have to tighten our belts and get doing much more. If you've been doing doing really, really good things, like putting in effort, like giving it a percentage that is like 50%, please get to the 80%. Even more than that, please. These are the 10 days. You're about to reach the finishing line. And what efforts have you put in? What strength? How, trying and doubling the efforts are you getting? How are you getting? How far are you trying? Please try your level best. Let's do the necessary in these last 10 days. We see a hadith, and this comes from both Bukhari and Muslim. One of our beloved great mothers, this is Ashuurah Mutale, says, when the last 10 nights began, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ would tighten his waist wrapper, and that is, strive hard in worship or refrain from intimacy with his wives. He would stay awake at night and wake his family as well. SubhanAllah, in these last 10 days, he would tighten, his waist wrapper more, and that is to say, he would worship more, refrain from intimacy with his wives. He would stay awake and awake his families as well. What are you going to do in these 10 nights? Remember, the point was wasting the last part of Ramadan, preparing for Eid, and this is not correct. These are some of the mistakes that we do in Ramadan, things that we take so lightly, things that we don't really consider being harmful to us or to our fasting or to our Ramadan, or being factors to reducing our rewards in Ramadan. So please, if you've been doing that for the last Ramadan, please adjust for this Ramadan. Okay, we are seeing our last point, and this is spending lavishly iftar. We see how people shoot those big parties and invite other people, how people are going beyond the line, people are crossing the line, people are going astray. They go as far as, people shoot big iftar parties, people miss out prayers in these parties, people are spending extravagantly in a way of showing off, and this is not good. Well, iftar, preparing iftar meals and inviting other people is way so good. I mean, you are in fact not doing it for the good of other people only, by scooping yourself rewards. But then if you go beyond the lines, beyond the limits, then you're going to get yourself messing up, because some people go as far as mixing up sexes. People go as far as hitting music. I mean, they're playing music along with iftar. People are gossiping, talking, carrying on useless conversations. People are missing out prayers. People are spending extravagantly in the name of showing off, and this is really, really wrong. These are some of the mistakes that we do in Ramadan, things that we take for granted, things that we think don't matter or don't really harm our fasting or our rewards, and yet they do in actual sense. So if you've been doing these mistakes, please try to adjust, especially in this month. Please remember, this is a month to scoop ourselves the best of rewards. Okay, the best of rewards. So let's do our best to scoop ourselves enormously as far as rewards are concerned. So why don't you allow me to simply say goodbye? That's it for today. Remember, we have wind up the mistakes that we usually do in Ramadan, and so for tomorrow we're going to have to talk about or discuss. So I'm going to have to teach something else. Take good care of yourselves. And while someone is wondering today, don't have a food for thought or a note to self for us. Well, yes, I do. Okay. And what do we have today? What have you done for yourself? Well, let's see. There are so many things that we can do for Sadaqatul Jariyah. This is the endless, the flowing sadaq even when we die. And what are some of these things? Some of these things, simply get yourself and plant a tree. Anywhere. Just plant a tree. This is going to be beneficial. Well, when we talk about Sadaqatul Jariyah, some people say, but those are big things, I can't afford them. Well, don't look at very big things, especially when you talk about things like building a mosque, or someone would give themselves an excuse, I don't have money. Well, it couldn't be an excuse. It could truly be that, especially when you don't have money. But how about planting a tree? Yes, you can do this wherever you are, wherever it can be. Please get a tree and plant it. This is for your own good. Scooping yourself rewards even after death. That is an out to self. That is a food for thought. How about doing it in this Ramadan, in this blessed month of mercy, month of forgiveness, month of scooping ourselves rewards? Okay, take good care of yourselves and see you for the next episode. That's going to be tomorrow. I do love you all for the sake of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.